Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajwa and I hope this video finds you well. If you are new to this place, please consider subscribing. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support and welcome back. In this video, I have two fragrances which have been reported to be dupes of the same thing. However, I find very, vast differences between these fragrances. They smell alike, in some aspects, but for the most part, I think they are quite different, taking different directions, but they've been reported to be dupes of the same thing. How come, So it's a little confusing here. I think I've seen some videos where people have, said Blueberry Max is a dupe for Fenty's Fenty, whilst others have also said December Rose by Paris Corner is a dupe for Fenty's Fenty. But to my nose, they don't smell really alike, I have personally not smelled the OG Fenty. However, these two, when I put them together or smell them, separately, they really, take their own direction, in my opinion. So I'll just start off by comparing how they smell and see which of them, I'm not going to do a comparison with the OG because I don't have that. So I'm just going to do a comparison between these fragrances for what they are, what they really are, and then give you my opinion as to which one is a better option, and why. When it comes to December Rose, we have blueberry and tangerine at the top, rose, geranium, and then magnolia in the middle, musk and patchouli at the base. Also, when it comes to Blueberry Max, we have blueberry and then blackberry at the top, freesia, lavender, and then rose in the middle, and then patchouli, vanilla, oak moss, and raspberry at the base. So they are quite different nose structure, or nose structures. To me, the most significant differences I find between these two fragrances are in their names. This one says December Rose, so it is rose forward, whilst this one says Blueberry Max, so this one is also blueberry forward. However, December Rose also has some blueberry at the top. This blueberry is not really that prominent, as compared to that from which you get from the Blueberry Max. This one is quite prominent when it comes to the blueberry and the other berries. This one is quite faint, you still get the blueberry, but it's like a very watered down blueberry with something like a hint of green tangerine. The tangerine here doesn't feel like, very ripe tangerine. It feels like green, and ripe tangerine. And the most dominant note I find in December Rose is going to be the rose. Honestly, you get a very rose forward powdery nuance in this one as opposed to the heavy blueberry, blackberry note you get in this one. Those are the major differences I find between these two fragrances. I have heard so much about the original Fenty that is supposed to be a heavy blueberry and then tangerine plus some rose, but this one I don't get it. I've always been saying in my videos that ever since I tried this fragrance, although I have not tried the original Fenty, it didn't give me that vibes at all, Sometimes, we get to hear about fragrances that we have not come across before, but based on how they are described, the intensity and how rich, and decadent they are described, and then you get something similar or you expect something similar from a dupe, and as soon as you smell it, you just know that this is not giving, it's not giving what a lot of people have reported the OG to be, smelling like. And that is the vibe, I initially got from December Rose. And I think in one of my videos that I did, Bella from Bella Star, commented that these two do not smell alike in any way, And I mean, of course, she has the original Fenty, so I would totally agree with her. However, this on its own is a very beautiful, soft rose scent. If you want to treat it as a rose scent, then you can absolutely go for this one. It is quite light, very powdery, a hint of musk, not so much of the patchouli and that geranium. I don't get those florals that much. I get that magnolia. Definitely there is a watery sort of white floral magnolia sort of vibes in this one, and I appreciate it for that. However, it doesn't give me anything strong, like a heavy tangerine, a heavy blueberry, a heavy rose, sultry, dark. It doesn't give me anything dark, it doesn't give me anything sexy. It gives me something quite powdery, a bit sensual, quite comforting. It is quite light, It's nothing to really write home about, if I should put it that way. It doesn't really come across as a fragrance I would, get up one day and say, I'm in the mood for December Rose, honestly, because it doesn't do a lot for me at all, Scent wise, it is quite mild, it doesn't have the strength, the potency, not at all, to me. So if you are looking for a mild gentle rose with a bit of a twist, you know, just a bit of a twist, then I would say go for December rose. However, when we come to blueberry max, it is a different, you know, game altogether. Although I find, you know, a slight similarity between these two. And the similarity I find between these two is the fact that they all share the note of blueberry, you know, and some musk and patchouli. But you don't get a patchouli that much, you know, in the December rose. However, when it comes to blueberry max, you get something quite, you know, intense, much more heavy, much more of that blueberry scent, not much of the rose, you know, not much of the rose at all. This one feels much more intense, much more delicious, much more gourmand, you know. I don't get that tangerine vibes in this one too, you know. It is more of the blueberries and a sourness, you know, a tangy sourness that I get in this one. It also comes across as a bit woody at the base, you know. It doesn't have any wood per se, it has oak moss, but I don't get anything green oak mossy, you know, vibes in this one at all. It doesn't give me a quintessential green, you know, herbal sort of oak moss touch to it. I rather get something like a sandalwood or a cedar, you know, sort of vibes. I also get some form of red berries, you know, and I think that is the raspberry, you know, playing the role here. It is not overly tangy or tart, you know. It doesn't come across as overly sour, you know, as a lot of, you know, berry, you know, fragrances. Lavender, not so much. I don't get any heavy masculine leaning lavender in this one at all, although it is, you know, incorporated as a note. Just a little hint of that rose, whilst in the December vanilla, you know, you get a prominent, you know, powdery, dusty rose. They both are very musky, you know. December rose is quite musky. The Arabiyat version is also musky, but not like overly musky. I think December rose is much more muskier than this one. The vanilla here feels super creamy, you know. It's like creamy vanilla coupled with that the berries, you know. It's very delicious smelling. It is a gourmand fruity fragrance. That is what essentially it is, you know. It comes across as very unisex leaning to me, you know, quite unisex leaning as compared to December rose, which sort of comes across as quite feminine because of that powdery rose, you know. To me, I feel like a man can rock this one without it coming across as too feminine, you know, in any way. When it comes to longevity, I think they are both at par, you know. They both give me about at least 4 hours on skin, you know. Although December rose is not like super room filling, it still lingers on the skin, you know. So I get about 4 hours on skin and then about 6 hours plus on clothes. This one I also get similar, you know, performance, but I think when I overspray this one, it lasts so much longer on clothes, you know. They are both really at par when it comes to performance, but projection wise, I think this one projects so much better than December rose, you know. That one is quite on the lighter side, although it lingers, you know, for quite a long time, but it's much more of it forms a scent bubble around you, whilst this one is like quite noticeable when you sort of overspray. For someone who has not come across the original Fenty, if I'm supposed to just, you know, give my opinion based on how I feel about these two fragrances, I would say they are not bad at all. Both fragrances are not bad at all. However, as fragrances on their own, I think I'm just going to go with Blueberry Max, just because I love how intense, how more of a realistic blueberry scent this one is, as opposed to what this one, the other version, which is December Rose, is. It's quite watered down, you know. To me, December Rose is just an okay scent. Honestly, I don't think, you know, I would say I'm highly recommending December Rose if you're looking for a rose scent or even a blueberry scent. There are other alternatives that I believe are better, you know. It's a combination that is quite, or the concoction is quite different, you know. I'll give it to it for being quite a unique smelling scent, you know, but there's something that feels lacking, you know. It feels like they could have done more to this scent than it actually is. Honestly, I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it's lacking some depth and some oomph, you know, that I was looking for. Whilst when it comes to the Blueberry Max, I get every single thing that I feel the December Rose was missing, although they are quite different, you know. But in terms of a blueberry scent, I think I prefer this so much better because it gives me a realistic blueberry scent. It gives me the intensity that I'm looking for. It gives me something quite different. I don't think I have anything with a heavy presence of blueberry, you know. And this one gives me that, you know. When it comes to performance, it gives me the performance, the longevity. It doesn't come across as super complicated complicated, and that is why I'm a little skeptical about it being like an actual one-to-one dupe of Fenty, because I've heard like quite some polarizing views about Fenty. I've heard about it not being super mass appealing. You know, it's like very divided when it comes to the scent profile. A lot of people are against it, whilst others, you know, also appreciate it. So I don't know how really I feel about that. However, Blueberry Max on its own is beautiful. It doesn't have anything obnoxious about it. It doesn't have anything that will throw you off, you know. It doesn't have anything chemically, anything synthetic. It doesn't come across as synthetic, you know, synthetic blueberry fragrance to me at all. It is very delicious, honestly. Very delicious, gourmand, vanilla, blueberry, raspberry. Personally, if I'm supposed to rate these two fragrances according to how I like them, I think I'm going to give Blueberry Max an 8.5 out of 10, and then I'll give December Rose a 5 out of 10, you know, 5 out of 10, just a little above average. So that is all I have for you today, and I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would truly appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.